Hello everyone, how you going and welcome back to Never Tell Me the Odds, or I guess it's nearly impossible odds, or just whatever you want to call it. It really doesn't matter, but it is certainly just a place for just some magic to happen. You know, you just never expect these things to happen, but really for some people they just do. So don't bother getting your calculator out because these things just have uncalculably low odds. But anyway, let's jump straight into it, shall we? So then starting right off with Bryce Harper hits another ball mid-air during batting practice. Well then I guess we know exactly what is going to happen, but once again, you know, it's just Never Tell Me the Odds. Oh my goodness, look at that. He does just skim it, so it's not as though it's a Newton's cradle effect or anything like that. But yeah, look at his face. He knows exactly what happened as well. Just the way that the other ball just dropped out of the sky. I mean, hey, I guess it makes sense considering the one that he hit has so much more energy behind it. But look at that. Just the way that it falls dead straight down to earth is incredible. It certainly warrants that face, if nothing else. And I love this one so much because it's just an instant reaction. You know, so many of these we just have things that just people don't even see and then they have to watch back on film or whatever it may be. Just generally people don't realize the impossible situation that they've put themselves in. But this guy knows exactly what has happened just right from the get-go. Look at that. You can see his waters go flying off into the distance. It was certainly a home run style ball, and I wonder what the other ball was doing. You know, was it just being blocked back to the pitcher, or just why was it there in the first place, let alone the fact that he actually hit the thing. Also, you have to think about it in terms of the fact that it was captured on camera. You know, usually anything that is quite small relative to the frame and also just traveling really fast you don't even see. I mean, I guess this one has certainly helped out due to the fact you can see the other one just drop straight down, but really the fact that it was caught on camera and it happened and he did it and he witnessed it as well, it really does make sense why it's on this episode, because there is no way in hell anyone would be able to do that to that kind of accuracy and with that speed ever again. Or at least not on purpose, because maybe this might happen every now and again, kind of in training and whatnot. You know, you just kind of lobbing balls back and then someone just like this guy just absolutely cracks one and it just goes flying into the other one. But you know, they certainly didn't mean it and there was no way you would ever be able to do this, I would think. Hey, I guess I don't really know, but I feel as though at that point you're dealing with seconds of degrees, and so to kind of hit it with that accuracy to be able to recreate something like that, you know, I don't want to know the odds and I don't want to know how many times it would take, because that would just be ridiculous. So yeah, like I said, at least we get to relish in the fact that this guy managed to do it. Bird flew precisely the right height and velocity to successfully poo inside my car through my open window while I sat in line at the drive-through, almost in bullseye on the trip button. Oh, that would certainly be a surprise. I mean, I guess you have to be kind of lucky stars you didn't already have your food and you weren't already about to take a bite into your burger and then were really interrupted by that landing in your mouth, basically. Because even though I would certainly say that this wasn't the nicest thing that happened to your day, I feel as though if that happened, it would certainly be a much, much worse day. I mean, hey, at the same time, kind of like the title says, I just have to give props to the bird because it is just absolutely nailed the trajectory just to get it right in that spot. Because I'm just imagining the situation is you having your window ever so slightly cracked and the bird was just able to absolutely nail the trajectory. Really, just kind of like a kill streak cam, just all the way down till it actually hit its target. Also, I guess in saying that, I wonder if you would even recognize what it is at first, because you literally have a UFO just come and crash land on the dash of your car and you go, what the hell is this? You know, is someone playing a prank on me? Am I getting spitballed? And then on closer inspection, you kind of realize what it is. So maybe just after a couple of seconds, you kind of realize what it is. But either way, you're just going, oh, really? Why did I have to be the one that kind of heaped in with that? To be honest, though, I can't think of too many more places that is inside the car that I'd rather have hit, because if it hits a seat, then it's going to be annoying to get out of. If it hits a steering wheel, then you're going to constantly be reminded that you're touching the thing. And then, of course, certainly the worst one would be if it was able to kind of fly fast enough to get the trajectory just right all the way down to hit the center console. That would certainly be impressive, if nothing else. But really, they're just all the buttons would just be destroyed. Whereas really, let's be honest, the dash cover is just like the perfect place. Just nice, easy to clean plastic. No worries. Just get some water or get some, I don't know, whatever you want, whatever kind of brand you want to do. Just absolutely load the entire thing up, get a paper towel or a sponge, and then I'm sure it'll be gone in no time. Like a pro. Oh, here we go. It doesn't get more classic than this one, does it? I mean, I guess I certainly have seen this one before, so we won't dwell on it for too long. But really, just the way the dog is so perfectly able to, and just so kind of nonchalantly just able to kind of flip it over its head, you know? It's the same as kind of people spinning a pen in their fingers, so I wouldn't be able to do it, and I don't think I have a pen on me. So here we go. Here's a pencil, and there's my attempt at kind of trying to spin it. But no, you've seen those people who are just kind of master procrastinators, and they've just been practicing with their fingers for hours on end. And really, this dog always reminds me of those people. And hey, I guess in saying that, I can certainly imagine that it isn't his first stick, and so, you know, perhaps he has actually practiced just as much as the people with the pens and whatnot, and he's just able to nail that trick every single time. I mean, it certainly is a nice kind of party trick, if nothing else. You know, you just kind of stroll through the water, but then also just want to get a little bit dry. But hey, you wouldn't want to kind of get slapped in the face with a stick hitting you, bang, bang, bang on the side of the head. No. You just kind of release, but you don't want to just kind of release it and drop it. Oh my goodness, that would just be peasantry. No. You just have to pull out your signature maneuver, and really, you just absolutely pulled it off stunningly. And so, do we even really call it Never Tell Me the Odds if someone has just practiced perfection? I don't know if it really counts, you know. I mean, it certainly doesn't take away from the fact that they're a total professional or whatever their trade is, but I just don't feel as though if you can do it every time, it counts as a Never Tell Me the Odds moment. Dude meets Keanu Reeves, so he's a puppet, but he only wears the same shirt. Hang on a second, I didn't expect it to be an old photo. I just expected it to be kind of a fan that has met him, I don't know, 2017 and then 2020. And you know, Keanu has his bike brand, so I was expecting it to be something like that. Not the fact that he was just going to be wearing, so I don't know, I guess it's a Hummer shirt. I mean, I guess that's blatantly obvious considering it says Hummer on it, but I can only imagine it's relation to the car brand. around. But no, that would be a hell of a thing when you actually kind of compare the photo and go, hang on a second, is he wearing the same shirt? Or maybe you'd have a hunch when you were first taking the photo going, hang on a second, something about him looks awfully familiar. I feel as though the shirt's the same. To be honest, I feel as though the entire thing has been knocked down a couple of pegs just because he's wearing a jacket. And also, imagine the fact if the guy was also wearing the same shirt. Now that would certainly equal a top of the month and never tell me the odds kind of post, but this one is still cool, don't get me wrong. Also, I'm just amazed about how much Keanu seemingly aged. You know, I don't know if it's a beard that just makes him look way older, but I reckon he looks about 10 years older. You know, I would say the top one he's maybe 23 and the bottom he's, I don't know, closer to 30 or more. I mean, also, I don't know if I'm just kind of remembering present day Keanu a little bit wrong, but it feels as though he doesn't look a day older than the bottom one. Yeah, he might have his longer hair and maybe he has a couple of grey bits here and there. I don't know. Like I said, I can't really remember, but it feels so facially he just hasn't changed in I don't know how many years. Also, if I'm honest, I just have another bone to pick with this entire photo, and that is the fact that you're not standing in the same spot. You know, it would have been so much better if you were both standing on the left or both standing on the right. You know, we'll pick a side and stick with it. I guess in reality, it just comes down to the fact that I just wish it was the perfect photo. You know, you're both wearing the same shirt, you're both standing in the same spot, and even if you manage to kind of get the photo in the same location, if you could just somehow manage to unintentionally, but just get all the stars to the line, then that would certainly be an Never Tell Me the Odds, just top of the month kind of post. Nice shot. Oh, do we have another classic on our hands? Here we go. Look at this on the volley straight into the window. It hasn't even happened yet. There you go. Right, buckets. I don't know how many times I've seen this video in the past, but every single time it just goes, oh my goodness, it is so satisfying. It's not even Never Tell Me the Odds moment for me anymore, because like I said, I've seen it, but now I just get that oddly satisfying feeling as I just see it go so effortlessly into that car's window. To be honest, I find it quite ironic that I don't feel as though I can commend what they did, because even though the title might have called it a nice shot, I just don't feel as though you can call it a nice shot when you didn't even get it in the goal. I mean, sure, if that's what you're trying to do, then go ahead, call it a nice shot, but really, you can see that the other guy's standing in the goal. He's just kind of ready to make the save, but just doesn't need to. Also, I've just always wanted to know what happened to the soccer ball. You know, did the person notice? I can only imagine they did, because it would certainly make a racket bouncing around in the back of the car. But at the same time, just some part of me just wishes you could turn this into an amazing story where the person didn't notice and they never saw that ball again. You know, this is the last living footage or the last living evidence that this ball ever had before it was just whisked away or right to someone else's home. I mean, either way for the driver or anyone else in the car, it certainly would have been a frightening, or if nothing else, just a startling experience. Just kind of similar to what I imagine the bird poo guy would have experienced, you know, but this one is certainly a little bit more dangerous in terms of it hits you. Also, I guess in saying that, the guy's actually kind of lucky that it went in the car. You know, he didn't smash a window or anything, so even though you might have lost your ball for a little while, at least you didn't have to deal with the consequences of breaking someone's window. But no, I do hope they got their ball back, and also hope that no one inside the car got hurt or anything like that. But really, you can just see their live reaction. That guy in the goal just putting his hands on his face and he just goes, oh my goodness, what did we just witness? That is certainly a Never Tell Me the Odds kind of moment. The timing of this photo bomb was incredible. Alright, what are we going to have? I don't even really recognize what this is. I can only imagine it is definitely a Pokemon of some sort. Oh my goodness, I can see what just popped up. Wow, it was literally like one frame was there for. I want to watch this again and again and see if I can try and pause it. Oh my goodness, it is so quick. Look at that, it's literally, I don't know, like 4 frames or something ridiculous, but the fact that you got it so perfectly centered is so great. I mean, even though the game looks pretty, I don't really understand why you'd be taking a photo of a whirlpool. So maybe the other guy's just kind of doing you a favor and go, come on now, you don't want to be taking a photo of that. You want the real kind of beauty in this entire game. But no, once again, I can only imagine it would have been quite startling. Like I said, I don't really understand what the game is. Is it a VR game? I just can't remember. There's just too many Pokemons, honestly. But it would certainly be starting just on the fact that alone that's only there for a couple of frames. I mean, kind of actually like a DSLR shutter, you know, when the mirror flips up, you can't see for a split second, and that's exactly what this guy's doing for you. Even though it certainly doesn't accomplish the same thing as you don't get to actually take a photo of what you wanted to take a photo of, at least you actually do get that momentary of blackness. And in which case, I find it quite incredible that the developers have put that much time and energy into kind of making that realistic. But no, this would certainly be one where in the moment you go, what the hell are the chances of that happening? You know, I just have to upload this immediately because there is no way that I have been this unlucky or lucky. I don't really know what it would be. But the fact that you managed to get the timing, so here we go, I want to pause, but the fact that you managed to get the timing so perfect where you just get a massive, just perfectly rounded, it honestly couldn't be a more successful photo bomb. And hey, unless that one photo just completely makes or break the game, which I'm sure it wouldn't, that would just be ridiculous if it did. But even though your original photo was completely ruined by a photobombing panda, at least you can just quickly stamp another one if you really wanted to. And so I can only imagine that you have very high chances, or realistically, just very high odds of eventually getting the right photo that you want. But being able to recreate that one, well, good luck to you. I certainly don't see the randomization of the game code ever aligning like that ever again. I would be so annoyed yet so amazed. I did not mean to do that. That kind of reminds me of, I should not have said that. Oh, what are we going to have? What kind of avocado magic are we going to have? Whoa, 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 whoa. Now that is certainly one hell of a magic trick, and really people, that is the correct way to go about getting the avocado out. You don't have to kind of just stab the thing in. You just get it one knife and you give it a light whack, just let it stick in, because there were just too many accidents that I've seen or heard of people, and sorry to get gory, but of people just kind of putting a knife through their hand because they just missed the avocado. So please, even though I can only imagine that most people aren't going to be able to do that with the avocado, just take lessons from this person. They certainly seem to know what they're doing, and even even though they said did not mean to do that, at the same time, you know, this might just be some kind of, oh, I didn't mean to do that just to get some few more clicks. And also, I just want to watch really close for a second and see if they move their right hand at all, that's being their right hand holding the avocado, just to see if they catch it. No, they don't, so fair credit to them, you know. I was just wondering if they did kind of just do a little bit of a move to try and catch it, just to make the video that little bit better, but no, just completely and seamlessly just, I think, bounces off their finger and in, you know. I mean, it certainly wasn't a nothing but net magic trick, but at the same time, you have to give it to them. It certainly is a never tell me the odds kind of moment. And hey, even though I can certainly say that avocados are pretty magic as a food, I certainly haven't ever heard of an avocado magician, so maybe you're just creating a new segment for yourself, you know. You just have to kind of branch out into a new magician's market and just start amazing people all over the world with the avocado skills. I mean, you might not be able to afford a house because obviously you're buying avocado, but at the same time, you know, you're just doing what you love. And so now finally for the top of the month for Never Tell Me the Odds, we have perfect capture of a random car explosion on the highway. Here we go. Ooh, that is certainly not looking in a good way. Where is this explosion going to come into? Holy mother of wow. I don't know if anyone was in that. It certainly doesn't look like it, and I certainly hope not, because that is just ridiculous. But I've never seen anything like that. They must have had a full tank of fuel or something, because there was surely no other way you're going to be getting a fireball that big. And then I reckon the crazy part about this entire clip is the fact you just have people driving through this massive fireball. I mean, I don't blame them for it, because they're just kind of cruising on the highway, and they certainly don't expect a smoking car to suddenly explode. I mean, I guess looking a little bit closer, maybe you should have stopped if you're behind that thing, because that certainly isn't just no engine smoke. But no, you just have this Michael Bay explosion and then people have to drive through. It was absolutely insane. I mean, if I'm honest, I wish I hadn't zoomed in at all, because then you'd just be able to see the entire flame and just the true scale of the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still certainly a massive fireball. That is just insane. But I just want to kind of extend the screen to the right and extend the screen to the left, and then also on the top to see how massive this fireball really is. So like I said, I certainly hope that there was no one in the car. I mean, judging by the amount of smoke that was already in the car, I can only imagine they would have bailed out quite a while ago. But honestly, with that much combustion happening all at once, the heat of that thing would have been absolutely ridiculous. So I hope the people that did drive through were alright, and I hope their cars are alright. I mean, I feel as though it's only right to assume that any of the plastic parts, being the mirrors or maybe the bumpers or anything like that, would have been a little bit melted. But I certainly hope that those people that drove through it will be completely fine inside their car. I mean, I guess it would kind of be like putting a finger through a candle. Not that that's recommended, but you know, in terms of things, burning is actually in relation to the amount of energy transferred. And so if you just really quickly, you don't actually get to transfer that energy. So maybe these people just needed to floor it. But yeah, like I said, I've never seen anything like this, and man, is it catastrophic. Really, it just makes me think about how catastrophic it would be if an entire petrol tanker went off. That would just be insane. So come on, people, even though I'm certainly not advocating for anyone to be in the firing line on a petrol tanker or even just this car, at the same time, that is one hell of a fireball. And so if you can just get a nice wide angle lens and just get a nice shot of this entire petrol tanker going off, then that would certainly be ridiculous. But at the same time, that would be one hell of a Never Tell Me the Odds kind of moment. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of the month for Never Tell Me the Odds. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the YouTube and look at things down below, and let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure you check some of the other videos out now. Or hey, maybe you want to consider subscribing so you don't miss it on one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.